Testing. 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 I need a mic check. I need a mic check. Okay, we got it. All right.
You're creating your own reality and I'm creating mine. So at the end of the day, you know, it's just like that until your reality starts to affect my reality and you start to infringe upon my truth and you start to harm me. You understand? So that's what's happening right now. We can segue into
Okay, wait, first.
population control.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love.
Okay.
Wait, first.
See how I did that for you? You see how I did that for you? Don't forget a sister over here.
Well, do you believe in do you call science white man science?
Of course not.
Okay.
Who does that?
Blackologists.
But there is a science that is now there is a pseudoscience.
All these people, they be doing that.
Like what about eugenics? That's a sinister pseudoscience.
What's wrong with eugenics?
Oh my gosh, y'all heard him.
What's wrong with eugenics? Please tell me.
Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him.
It's necessary.
Oh. You believe that there's a such thing as culling the herd when it comes to humans?
I believe that some people needed to get the hell up off this earth. Yeah, they're a hindrance, and and they're doomed to be, you know, a blow to.
Okay, well, guess what? I'm going to say, I too believe that there are people. Now, let's move from the word believe, because I like to use the language enough where people
don't believe it.
No. My opinion. How's that? My opinion is that there are truly, sadly, I'm coming to the conclusion, in my opinion, that there are people who just will not change, and they are destructive, and that is their nature. Now, with that opinion, it's different than me taking my opinion and then actually putting it into action as a judge. Because why do I get to judge? Where have I proven that I can say there you can live, you should die, you can live?
I got a question for you. She brought it up, so I'm gonna get you. Okay, right now in Italy with the coronavirus, like damaging them like big time. So 2 people are in the hospital. They got one respiratory,
respirator.
One respiratory, well, whatever.
One respirator.
Right. Hey, that's a tongue twister.
Go ahead.
One respirator, and you dig. Listen.
You did it. It's not a tongue just twister for a brother like you.
Look.
Articulate brother like you.
Nah, I can't say spaghetti. I be saying something else. So yeah.
Say it. You say sketty?
I don't say sketty. I say pusketty.
Oh, that's what little baby say.
Right. So
Mommy,
this.
I want some pescetti. I actually made pescetti.
I cannot say. I'm gonna say it correct right now, but I cannot say participate. I be saying like something crazy, but there's certain words that just get me on the low.
Yeah, me too. There's one thing I say when I know I say and them, and I say and one way or another. No, sometimes I say another instead of other, but I quickly correct myself. But anyway, go on. Back to the referendum.
I might twist words up, but I would never say 2/3 is less than 50%.
Oh wow, that's tough because think about that person dealing with your money.
Right. So I would never do that. But listen. So going back to who could play God and decide who dies, who lives. Okay. So now you got two people in a hospital in Italy, and one needs a ventilator. Is that better? Ventilator. Okay.
Well, you could say ventilator or respirator or whatever.
Well, ventilator, that sounds better for me. I can say that easily.
Fine.
Okay. So how do they decide who gets and who don't?
I mean, really? Like, come on.
No, I'm just asking, like, how do they decide? Like, do you think that's wrong for them to decide somebody?
I can't, that situation, I can't say if it's wrong or right. Like, even when does that happen? You know, that's very, I thought you were going to say about, people, there are people that have to make difficult choices like that.
Right.
That's
And that's what Margaret Sanger was doing. She was making a difficult choice.
No, let's back up. You know, let me finish. That's why these people called doctors and the healthcare providers called nurses and they go through a lot of testing and training, and then they have to take an oath to protect, whether it's sincere or not. they go through a lot, and then they have to take the Hippocratic oath, the doctors. So Margaret Sanger was like, kill all these niggas. Okay, Miss Sanger, because she was not an authority. Oh, she was very much. She was not. Because she clearly was in. Let's just use this on the surface. Let's not get in all deep about this person. She was in a rally with the KKK, and she's proudly standing on a pedestal or on the podium, smiling in taking a photograph with the KKK. So
you are a revisionist. That's what you are.
No. Come on, brother. You're gonna say that if I see someone, if someone's chilling out with me,
right?
Okay, just let's say I'm just grabbing somebody, Tazadakia, and Tazadakia has been hanging out with these Hebrew Israelites. You white people die. Can't wait to see you die. Right. And then all of a sudden I see him, and I'm leading. I'm doing birth control. Oh yes, I'm fair. People are gonna be like, no, he's gonna try to kill off all the white people.
No.
Okay, I can't. When you don't act logical, if you can't be logical, I can't.
That's not blackologist thing, right? But when
that's your blackologist thing or mine?
No. That's how blackologist think. The scientific literature person won't think like.
No. A logical mind thinks that way. A 5-year-old. If a 5-year-old sees somebody walk up every day and slap their grandma across the face while she's sitting outside every month, slap the grandma, and then this 5-year-old sees that the same person say, I love old people. The 5-year-old is going to say, no, you don't. I saw you slapping my grandma's face for a whole month.
Wait. So your only problem with Margaret Sanger is that she took a picture with some.
No, you're trivializing. I said on the surface. I said on the surface.
Hold on. How we know they are their family? You dig?
Okay, now see, again, you're being what they would say the Hebrew Israelites, you're being simple-minded, brother. You're being simple-minded. Hey, what's wrong with us? May I just real quickly, why did we get this way? I already know this is a bit rhetorical, but now we want to be so intellectual and align ourselves with sillyology. You say blackology, we want to be sillyologists. Because we know back in the day when we were purer in the mind as Black people,
Oh, damn.
we didn't even discuss it. We're like, oh, she be hanging out with the KKK? No, hell no. We can't even let her come into our community, let alone.
Out and uneducated.
Brother,
All type of
no,
shit.
we're not. Well, the word educated, again, we could really get into that.
Oh, shit.
Because yeah, brother, let's do it then. Let's just get it. No, because we could talk about education, like the education of, or the miseducation of our people, which is we've been indoctrinated to think, oh, if I object to what is clearly against me, without standing back and being scientific and trying to pick it apart when it's clearly dangerous and against me, then I'm going to look like these other people who are non-thinkers. And I'm talking about our people. I get it, brother. I don't want to look like a non-thinker, but I also don't want to jump all the way off the cliff and look like a fool and say a woman who is leading, we're leading in abortion, Black women, okay? So she's putting all of these ideas into the mind of the population that there are certain people, hold on, that need to be killed and destroyed. And wait, real quick. And then the science has already been set up where I talked about the races. So she goes to that science and she refers to all, Darwin and all that science and says, oh, okay. Yep, don't you see? Here's the science right here, the theory that this. So, and then we can't say anything because we're sitting there going, but wait, it doesn't make sense. No, because look, the science says. So we don't want to risk looking stupid by objecting to what is clearly wrong. Margaret Sanger, we're arguing it, sadly, as Black people, but it really isn't an argument that she was a white supremacist who had an agenda and still is being pushed to destroy, not just Black people, but other people too, indigenous
So it
people.
wasn't racist, huh?
No, see, again, the word racist. So let's use group. To destroy certain groups of people.
Oh my God.
So she, I mean, come on, brother, you need to acquiesce to that she definitely was on had an agenda, or has, or there still is an agenda. Huh? You're breaking up.
I said everybody has an agenda.
Well, I was going to say she has an agenda to destroy.
Okay, no, wait.
Yeah, everybody does have an agenda. I said her agenda
Hold
is to destroy.
I'll pull her up. So no more speculation.
How am I speculating? I gave facts.
Oh,
Well, wait, I take that back. I can speculate on facts, but you're making it like I'm just pulling it out of the air.
I'm about to put we're gonna just pull it out of Wikipedia. How about that?
Oh, wow. Okay, what are we gonna do there? Why are we pulling out Wikipedia? Because we're gonna bring up that she's like Mr. Rogers and she loves everybody.
Evil Wikipedia. Don't do it.
No, I didn't say evil Wikipedia. I didn't say that. I said, why are we pulling up Wikipedia to prove that she's a good person, or was a good person? I mean, she's gone now.
Good person. Listen.
She was? Okay, to Hillary Clinton. All right, Hillary Clinton. Are you liberal?
Look, I don't get into all that little terminology.
Are you a liberal? If you had to choose, what would you choose to call you? What are you laughing about?
Am I liberal? Yo, listen. I'm none of that stuff. Listen.
Okay.
All right.
You're sounding a bit like one.
Listen, man, why? Because I just Margaret Sanger.
Because you said Margaret Sanger is good.
Wait, I like her. Look, Margaret Sanger.
This one right here. Oh my God. Hey, you making me want to just say our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Why can't I read this right here?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Margaret Sanger Sleep was an American birth control activist. Nothing wrong with that. Sex educator, writer, and nurse. Sanger popularized the term birth control, opened the first birth control clinic in the United States, and established organizations that evolved into the Planned Parenthood Federation of America. Now, that's a good thing. Sanger blah, 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 blah.
So funny. That's a good thing. And so moving right along.
Right, so Sanger used her writings and speeches primarily to promote her way of thinking. That's very clever. She advocated for her book, Family Limitation, under the Comstock Act in 1914. She was afraid of what would happen, so she fled to Britain until she knew it was safe to return to U.S. Okay, Sanger's efforts contributed to several judicial cases that helped legalize contraception. And look, she's a good woman. She helped legalize contraception in the United States, and all of us, especially men, take advantage of this opportunity. You dig? So all thanks to Margaret Sanger. It was illegal.
All right.
One point to
So
have.
are you trying to say that? Are you trying to now? You call me Sue though. Do you want people to believe that before Margaret Sanger there was no type of birth control as far as contraceptives go?
It was illegal. She helped legalize it. It means
Hold on. Whoa. No, what she helped legalize is the distribution and the institutions that were conducting abortions and doing experiments on.
Oh, no. Let me read what's here. You're adding in. That's your execution.
No, I'm not. You're reading something in general. Like this is where I said we can all go pull from the information.
But don't forget, we're also talking to people who are listening, and right now they are on your side. So I'm trying to win them over.
And you know what? Let me talk, brother. I'm on your side, but brother, do this. Do you mind if I just address the audience for a minute and ask them to participate? Please, to the audience out there who believes that this Wikipedia article is accurate enough.
Oh my God.
Wait, please put a 1 in the chat if you believe that Margaret Sanger was good.
Wait, how are you gonna judge? I think they give you.
Because I want to see if I have to take my energy.
But they don't
start trying to prove that Margaret Sanger. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's a two.
You have an agenda. You cut me off.
No, I don't. It's your platform.
Yeah, you cut me off. You have an agenda.
You're crazy. I'm gonna be quiet and let you play this game.
Hey.
You know better. You know Margaret Sanger.
This woman that I'm so grateful for has helped legalize contraception in the United States. I love her for that today. Okay, due to her connection with Planned Parenthood, Sanger is a frequent target of criticism by opponents of abortion. Okay, however, Sanger drew up a sharp distinction between birth control and abortion and was opposed to abortion through the bulk of her career. Now we don't hear that. We don't hear that. She was opposed to. So she was all about contraceptive. She was opposed to abortion for the bulk of her. I never heard that from the people who hate her. Now it says,
oh my God.
It says Sanger remains an admired figure in the American reproductive rights movement. She has been criticized for supporting eugenics. Okay, so in 1916, in 1916, Sanger, 2 years later, Sanger opened the first both birth control clinic in the United States, which led to her arrest. Damn, I told you, for distributing information on contraception. She got arrested for teaching about contraceptive. So again, it was illegal at that time. After an undercover policewoman, a policewoman did it. A policewoman bought a copy of her pamphlet on family planning. So what she was doing, she made it legal.
You didn't get arrested back then for just having a pamphlet about family planning. It was the content of the pamphlet.
Yeah, now look right here.
Well, and it wasn't illegal to discuss contraceptive in the 1920s. It wasn't illegal. No, it wasn't illegal.
All right, well, look,
it wasn't illegal to discuss contraceptive.
So
it wasn't illegal. You have to actually be doing something that was illegal.
Yeah, and she was passing out pamphlets. Now look, her
pamphlets, most likely pamphlets about abortion procedures. I can get the information. I'll let you finish because I see I'm gonna have to
get that. Right now, I'm storing stuff right now. I'm winning now, right? Am I winning now? Okay.
Winning? What the hell? You want to debate so bad?
No,
That's the man side.
No, we're debating about whether Margaret Sanger was a good woman or a bad woman. You say bad, I say good. That's a good thing.
I'm more specific, saying she was a eugenicist that was gearing her campaign, and her agenda was aimed on alleviating the lie or getting rid of. I shouldn't say alleviate. Excuse me, I shouldn't have used that word alleviate. That's not really the best word.
Why do you keep stopping me when I read about this good woman?
Please finish reading, brother. I'm sorry, I'll mute up. Go ahead.
Her subsequent trial and appeal generated great controversy. Sanger felt that in order for women to have a more equal footing in society and to lead healthier lives, they needed to be able to determine when to bear children. Right. The men was knocking them up, leaving them with 8 children. Now they doomed to a damn household. You dig? They damn sure ain't going nowhere with 9 children. She also wanted to prevent so-called back alley abortion. Look at this. This woman is great. She also wanted to prevent so-called back alley abortion. What is that? What is that? Now watch what she was against.
That's what she said I can get information.
Really?
You have to be politically correct.
Hold on.
All right.
Back alley abortions are an unsafe abortion is a termination of a pregnancy by people lacking the necessary skills or in an environment lacking minimal medical standards or both. An unsafe abortion is a life-threatening procedure. It includes self-induced abortions in unhygienic conditions. Okay, so we know. So basically, back alley abortion was illegal abortion. It was practiced by people who are not necessarily medically comprehensive. Okay, straight laymen, which were common at that time because abortions were illegal in the United States. Look at this stuff, man. Look at this stuff. People were doing back alley abortions. So she was pro-life. She believed that while abortion was sometimes justified, it should generally be avoided. And damn, why we don't know that about her? She believed that while abortions was sometimes justified, it should be generally avoided. So she believed they should be avoided.
You said that you skipped you skipped right over where she said they were justified.
We read that. She read they were justified.
So close the book. She said that abortions were justified. So she wasn't against abortion. She wasn't against abortion.
Wait. She just said that men was knocking up women like hell just to keep them home, where they could run out and date.
So that's the reason to kill your baby?
Listen, well, look. She believed that while abortion was sometimes justified, it should be generally avoided. So the fact is, generally means mostly, okay? So she believed most should be avoided. And she considered contraception the only practical way to avoid them. So she actually had a solution. It wasn't abortion. She said the main way to avoid abortions, in her answers, her solution was contraception. See, we don't read that. I'm glad we're into this discussion. I didn't know this. This is a great woman. This is a great goddamn woman right here.
All right. When you finish, let me know.
Okay, so I'm done.
Oh, great. Okay, so do you mind going to, let me read it and then I'll let you go find the quote. Okay, birth control itself often denounced as a violation of natural law. So let me say it again. Birth control, quote, birth control itself, often denounced as a violation of natural law, is nothing more or less than the facilitation of the process of weeding out the unfit, of preventing the birth of defectives or of those who will become defectives. If we are to make racial progress, let me repeat that part. If we are to make racial progress, this development of womanhood must precede motherhood in every individual woman. That is from, quote, The Woman and the New Race, 1920. And that is our wonderful Margaret Sanger's quote. Let me get another one real quickly. And then, because you said a lot about it.
Wait, repeat that one again. Go ahead.
Repeat it again? Okay. Quote, birth control itself, often denounced as a violation of natural law, is nothing more or less than the facilitation of the process of weeding out the unfit, of preventing the birth of defectives or
Right?
of those who will become defectives. I wonder who she was talking about. Like that.
I like that. She's talking about crackheads. I like that.
Oh, sure. I wonder who the crackheads are, but who what's the majority?
No, it don't matter who they are. Well, first of all, there are more white folks on crack than black folks. Let's get that.
No, that's a lie. We're gonna go all the way back to the beginning. We got a lot of stuff to cover, but let's stay with this and finish this up. Get the meat off this bone, and then we'll move to the next plate that you just that's not exactly
Right,
true.
I am closer, right.
There are more white people on OxyContin and on those I forgot the other one that's a new one that they're doing. You know what I'm talking about. So where was I?
The quote. You read the quote.
Yeah, so I read that again. He said, if we are meant to make racial progress, this development of womanhood must precede motherhood in every individual woman. So that is one of her quotes. And then another quote of hers is, if I'm not mistaken, just a second. There's so much stuff on my computer. Let me just get that off there. Just bear with me. I'm trying to scroll down or find it. Okay, quote, apply, I'm tired, y'all. Apply a stern and rigid, I told you I'm tired. I know what rigid is, very tough.
It's not like me, why can't I say respiratory?
No, I'm tripping. Let me start over, quote, apply a stern and rigid policy of sterilization, I'm very sleep deprived, and segregation to that grade of population. I wonder who she's talking about, whose progeny is tainted.
No, that's
Wait, let me finish. Or what? Go ahead, brother.
Listen, okay.
Okay. Or whose inheritance is such that objectionable traits may be transmitted to offspring. So she went and she's leaning all over. She's wallowing on Darwin's theory of oh God, what's the theory? You know, because you believe in it.
Natural selection.
Yeah, no, but my mind is so, please forgive me, everybody, because
you making stuff up.
No, I'm not. I should have just said Darwinism, but it's just, I couldn't remember the name of his theory, but evolution, Dar. God, I couldn't think, okay, so let me go back to the quote. I wish to take it, wait, no, I didn't finish this one. She said, tainted, let me start over, quote, apply a stern and rigid policy of sterilization and segregation to that grade of population whose progeny is tainted or whose inheritance is such that objectionable traits may be transmitted to offspring. That's from her paper, My Way to Peace.
I found nothing wrong with that paper.
Okay, let me read another quote. Okay, quote, as an advocate of birth control, I wish to take advantage of the present opportunity to point out that the unbalance between the birth rate of the unfit and the fit, admittedly the greatest present menace to civilization, can never be rectified by the inauguration of a cradle competition between these two classes. In this matter, the example of the inferior classes, the fertility of the feeble-minded and the mentally defective, the poverty-stricken classes should not be held up for emulation to the mentally and physically fit, though less fertile parents of the educated and, there's your word, educated, and well-to-do classes. On the contrary, the most urgent problem today is how to limit and discourage the over-fertility of the mentally and physically defective. From the book, Eugenics, Value of Birth Control. Yeah. Yes.
Look, right.
I could go all night because she got a bunch of them, but you guys, y'all get it, right? Or do you need me to read one more? You need me to read one more, huh?
Okay, read one more if you want.
Okay, you're so funny. But what were you gonna say? I don't have to keep reading.
I was gonna say, keep in mind, her solution was contraceptives.
No, she didn't say. Oh, she said she wants to get rid of them. She wants to get rid of people. No, she didn't necessarily at that time, brother. At that time, that was her only voice. That was the only appropriate solution to speak publicly about. But rest assured, in the back rooms, she was doing all kinds and working with all kinds of math, all kinds of mad scientists, which they call brothers and sisters, real quick. I'm gonna say this, brothers, please bear with me. Just indulge me. Make no mistake, the language and the term, the phrase back alley abortions, they weren't back alley. They were done in every single home. It wasn't a back alley. It wasn't. So when you hear the word,
here we go.
No, when you hear the phrase back alley, you don't think of a nice home or a peaceful place where families live. Huh?
Anywhere. It could be in a nice home or an actual back alley.
Yeah, and I need to clarify that because sometimes language, you know, what you do is you start to imagine when you hear something, it just your program triggers, oh, it's seedy. And in the movies, they always show some sad, crying 19-year-old and her dad or her brother or her sister's driving her to the backwoods and it's dark and there's a dirty old tub on the side of the bed and bloody rags everywhere and the lady standing there with the hanger like, come on, lay down, baby. No, it was done by doctors. A lot of doctors and healthcare providers were doing abortions. It wasn't just like that. So I want to clarify that Margaret Sanger has always had her hand in the abortion movement. She just knew at the time, there's the proof with her own voice. It would have been illegal for her to come out and say, yeah, and I do abortions and I think they're great. It would have gotten her in trouble.
She said contraceptive. But look, is it my go yet now?
I was responding to you. You can say what you want to say. Go ahead. Your platform. Remember, this is your house. No. This is your house. I share this thing equally with everybody. Okay.
Look. No. See, you got me mixed up. Most people with a channel, they feel like that. It's like they're powerful now. I don't take this internet stuff serious. Like I'm powerless on the internet. Like I don't have more power than you. So when people come on here, we engage. All that I ask from people is let me talk also. That's all. Talk as long as you want. Just give me a chance to talk too.
Right, brother.
That's
Thank
all.
you. Okay, I appreciate that. Go ahead.
You see this right here?
Let me see. What? I only see your boxing glove.
No, right here. Oh, I'm sharing the screen.
Oh, no, I see it. Okay,
you like, don't click that. I'm buying. Don't click it, please.
I don't care if you click that. You're crazy.
All right. Oh, damn. So, Sanger worked with...
You beat Du Bois, right?
Yeah, don't stop me.
Well, I don't care what he said.
Let me go. I didn't stop you. I listened to you. You talk, and I heard you out. Now, when I go...
Go ahead.
Yeah, miscommunication. Work with African-American community. Sanger worked with African-American leaders and professionals who saw a need for birth control in their communities.
Ain't nothing changed.
Let me finish. So this was not a crazy white woman idea.
Oh, wow. That's your proof, brother. You know, much love to you. No, you think Negroes don't work with right now?
Everybody hears that. She went, I let her go. King Life.
Okay, let me do that. You're trying to be
See, is that verse then? Now that ain't verse then. Okay, so Sanger worked with African American leaders and professionals who saw a need for birth control in their communities. So she wasn't this crazy, wide-eyed woman with a crazy idea. Black professional leaders say, hey, you are on to something. Holla at us. In 1929, James H. Huber, a Black social worker and the leader of the New York's Urban League, asked Sanger to open a clinic in Harlem. They asked her, she didn't force it on them. Sanger secured funding from the Julius Rosenwald. That sounds too much like Oswald Bates. Okay? Sanger secured funding from the Julius Rosenwald Fund and opened the clinic staffed with Black doctors. What? Staffed with Black doctors in 1930. The clinic was directed by a 15-member advisory board consisting of Black doctors, nurses, clergy, journalists, and social workers. A bunch of professional, you dig, people. The clinic was publicized in the African American press as well. Damn, so this was big news in a good way. The clinic was publicized in the African American press as well as in Black churches. And it received the approval of who? W.D. Du Bois. So this ain't no crazy woman trying to kill Black folks for all Black folks saying, yeah, bring it over here. The co-founder of the NAACP and the editor of his magazine, The Crisis, Sanger did not tolerate bigotry among her staff, nor would she tolerate any refusal to work within interracial projects. Oh, so she did not tolerate bigotry. So she ain't this crazy racist you paint her out to be, and what most people do. She didn't tolerate bigotry. Prejudice, that's what bigotry is, prejudice. So she didn't tolerate prejudice among her staff, nor would she tolerate any refusal to work with interracial projects. As you can see right now, she pulled up. She saw stuff, she pulled up. She worked with Black folks and she was not afraid. Sanger's work with minorities earned praise. Even Dr. Martin Luther King praised her in his 1966 acceptance speech for the Margaret Sanger Award. Okay, so I'm done right here. And from 1939 to 1942, 3 years, Sanger was an honorary delegate of the Birth Control Federation of America, which included a supervisory role alongside Mark Lasker and Clarence Gamble in the Negro Project, an effort to deliver information about birth control to poor Black people. And what's her birth control message? Contraceptive. Sanger advised Dr. Gamble on the utility of hiring a Black physician for the Negro Project. She also advised him on the importance of reaching out to Black ministers' writing. Now, do you understand the Negro Project was a failure? If I click this right here, it was a failure. It was not even successful. You dig? That's it. So I won that round. Go ahead, Napah.
It's no problem. Listen, brother. Okay, so first off, I have a couple points. We all know that even we can look at it today. There are several Black leaders who don't have our best interest in mind, but they purport an image that they do have our best interest in mind. Number one. Number two, case in point. No, let me give an example. There are a lot, and I don't want to open up another can of worms till we finish clearing out this one. Like there are a lot of Black people who align themselves with the Clintons. Now let's put that on the side, put a pin in that, and let me go back to what you were saying. About W.E.B. Du Bois, there is a lot of debate about how he, quote, now don't get triggered, sold out on the Black people. We all, if you know the history, just even the brief history of that brother, of that, one of our, I guess you could loosely use the term forefathers. He had a great rivalry with, Washington, Booker T. Washington, right? Yes. So because of his philosophies, if I'm not mistaken, right? He worked more with the elite. You understand? And I'm talking about Du Bois. You don't think so? Because he was not from the same stock as other Blacks.
Oh shit.
He wasn't. He was born like his family was free, and then the other, like, he didn't see the plight. He didn't see the plight of the general public, which regarding Blacks. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not contending with you about him. I didn't fact check it, but I'm going to take your word for it because I know a little bit about his philosophy and his stance. And he was more about, the fit and you can do it. There's no excuse. The elites. He believed in that what I would say, maybe I'm saying it wrong, but classism. He believed in that. So I wouldn't say that he didn't. I believe that he probably was aligned with her. But that doesn't make it that just because he's Black and aligned with her, that she wasn't a devil and isn't a devil. Because we can look at the fruit of her works. All we have to do, we can argue back and forth about what she did do, or we can look at right now what she is doing. And her organization, Planned Parenthood, is freely open to and encouraging the abortion of children and especially accessible to Black children. It's a clear fact. I mean, I got to maybe come back and we can do a whole. But we are talking about population control, so this is fitting. But she is not. Let's see. I haven't looked at the statistics lately, but I can pull out something that I knew about in 2017. Over 300,000 abortions of Black children. To over 300,000. Now, for me, that's a small city, not a small city, a large city or a small state. That is a whole nation or a group of people that could have existed, a bunch of Black people, 300,000 people who we don't know who they could have been. They could have changed the world. And I'm not trying to sensationalize, but I'm being realistic.
King signed off too, though, Napah.
Huh? What?
Dr. King signed off too.
Hey, let me ask you a question about Dr. King, and this is going to be a little bit. Wow, we're just jumping. We're going all the way down the rabbit hole. So, what do you think about Bayard Rustin?
Who?
Bayard Rustin.
What's that?
Exactly. That's the puppet master of Dr. King. Now, do I love and respect Dr. King for the things that he did as a Black man? Yes. But do I know that he was used and
wait, that's not fair, because when he talked about America being a burning
house, I will let my people into a burning house. Look, that's one quote.
I'm asking a question. Was the puppeteer there too?
Okay. You went all the way to the end of the movie. Instead of going to you at the credits, like one more frame and we'll be at the credits. Let's go back to the beginning when before he was the face of the civil rights movement. And so now I'm glad to give you this because you're like, I got you. So I'm glad to give you as a brother this because you said you like to research it. Go find out about Bayard Rustin. Bayard. Now, does that mean I'm trying to, I have to be careful because I'm not trying to disrespect Dr. King. No, I'm not trying to, I haven't disrespected Dr. King. I'm not even disrespecting W.E.B. Du Bois.
Filibustering.
I'm not filibustering, brother. I'm giving information when you said Martin Luther King was dealing with Margaret Sanger. Right. Well, let's find out. Let's go back to what Martin Luther King was doing, who he was working for, what was he underneath? What? Do
you mind if I give us both the time, like 2 minutes?
No, I can be quiet. If you just want to go ahead and pull out all
I'm saying,
you're pseudo. You're the one that's pseudo.
I'm saying
talking about Margaret Sanger is good.
Listen, I'm saying both of us because sometimes if we talk too long, then it'd be too many points being made and too many to address. So I'm saying like limit us. Like I'm gonna give a timer of 2 minutes for both.
No, I'll just even if it's 1 minute, I'll stop and you. Hey, so let's talk about Bayard Rustin. Then you look him up and just do your Wikipedia.
No, you bring him up. I'll bring up what I bring up. That's what I mean. Like you're too many.
Okay, he is behind the. He's not the only person. But he was what you would call the mentor or the advisor of, and I'm speaking really in loose terms, of Martin Luther King. And he had an agenda behind his intentions weren't just about Black people getting civil rights. He needed to set a foundation for the rights of homosexuals and whatever you might say that they consider to be minorities or their civil rights are infringed upon. But you can't, at that time, you couldn't come forward with the face of homosexuality and say, we want equal rights. They would have been lynched and no one would have done anything about it. So they had to use us, which is okay because there was definitely a plight. We still are suffering injustice. So we're the face of the movement and we needed it. And maybe Martin Luther King said, I'm going to do it for my people. I mean, I believe that he was an honorable man and that he, for the most part, and I think he said, you know what, okay, but leave that homosexual stuff on the back burner and let's do this whole thing for us first. Because we paved the way for this LGBTQ movement and everything. So if you're LGBTQ out there and you're getting a little sensitive, I haven't said good or bad about it. I'm just saying facts. So I'll be quiet and leave that with you, and you can go ahead and.
You got 30 more seconds. Are you watching?
No, I'm not. I'm good. I'll give you the 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. So, all right. Well, I'll take your 30 seconds. All right. So, all right. For one, Tim's threw me a great bone, and this
Who
is
did? Who threw your bone?
Tim's inside the chat. Okay.
What did Tim say?
This is gonna be damaging. Well, he made it concise, but I'm gonna stretch it out. So, let me ask you this: do you agree that? Now you wait. What is back alley abortion?
It just means that it was illegal.
No, what actually is it?
What do you mean? What is a back alley abortion?
Right. What's a back alley abortion?
I mean, there's no such thing. Well, if you wanted to say today, before
back in Margaret Sanger's day, what was a back alley abortion?
You go and get an abortion and it's not legal.
Okay, so were they happening before Margaret Sanger?
Okay, abortions have been happening since ancient times.
Wait. This is look. I'm asking questions. You smart. My time going. Okay, that's my whole point. So Tim's made a great point. Abortions were happening before Margaret, and they're going to happen without her. What she did was make it more kosher, right? She made it more where it was done by professionals if this is going to be done. And then he mentioned something about the hanger abortion. So it was like really horrible, bad practice going on with abortions, like with the child being aborted and the mother actually dying. You know, things were not. Wait, it's my seconds.
Go ahead.
Things were not sanitized at all. Now, Dr. King, it's funny you mentioned him. I got 50 seconds. I'm done. It's funny you mentioned him because when I mentioned, well, who was behind him, puppeteering him when he said we're gonna go out there and get our check. Mark, go to Washington, get our check. When he started to talk about the land grants, the secret set asides that was given to foreigner whites, it was Dr. King who exposed all the dirt that Malcolm X ended up using, and everybody till this day uses from Dr. King, exposing what was going behind the back door or under the rug. It was Dr. King who exposed.
Under the rug with who? You talking about Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad? Under the rug with who? I just wanted to clarify. I'm not cutting off, and that's part of my 30 seconds. So go ahead.
I'm almost done. Well, I take your 30 seconds. Remember, I take it.
I know, but I get to that's how I get to interject.
Okay. So anyway, Dr. King said he exposed the land grants that white folks is taking. That we're not taking, but we're giving. Okay. So he exposed the land grants white folks are giving. He said, okay, he basically said, every time something is free and you just could go out there and white man just could say yes, it was always all good. But if it was something, so basically if it was something the white man could snap his finger to give it to us, then it was all good. He said when it was something tangible that they had to be given to us physically, he said they fought against that. So when he realized that, he said, oh, no more marching Washington just talking. Now we are going to march to Washington for a check. So I mentioned the back alley abortion before Margaret, after Margaret, and I mentioned Dr. King being very active, being very, you could say like a nationalist. Your go. Your time starts now.
Yeah, well, he was always a nationalist. And stop saying my time starts. Stop. I don't want that. All right. So real quickly, that point, and shout out to the brother, but that point, it doesn't take away from this woman being evil and with it working to destroy not just blacks, but first and foremost blacks and any other unsavory person in her eyes. So yes, there were abortions, duh. And the abortions that were done, again, you sensationalized it. You're like, and women dying and the dirty hangers. It wasn't like that. They were actually going into doctors' offices and clinics and homes, and they had professionals, and they still do. They have professionals that were aiding these people to do, professional abortion. So, I think I covered that. Like, it wasn't just like women were just dropping dead left and right. Even in the abortion industry right now, when I say industry, make no mistake, So when women go in there and they have the abortion, they get to read about all the horrible things that might happen to them. Punctured uterus, all kinds of things. Hemorrhaging. So they signed and say, "Oh, I'm not going to hold you responsible if you mess me all up." So it's like that's out of the way. Abortions are abortions, but she was working to, her agenda wasn't to give women rights as she purported. Her agenda is to destroy Black people, Native American people, people with mental disabilities, people with physical disabilities. That's her agenda. And who, again, it goes back to what we said, like, who is she to stand on a Bema and make such a grave decisions? She's not fit. So moving away from that, don't wait. Let me just finish up. Okay. And then the Martin Luther King thing, I'm not contending with you about that. He was waking up. He was getting smarter. And then they were losing a grip on him. And now where is he? Oh, he was assassinated. So, and there's a story out there that there was a civil lawsuit that the Kings won because he arrived. This is the story. You can call it pseudo, but I think it's verifiable because it was a civil lawsuit and they won. They killed him at the hospital. Which, come on. Do we have to really be called conspiracy theorists to see that there is an agenda against Black people? And if the Black people, real quick, and I'll be finished, the Black people who work with these murderers or these mad scientists or these eugenicists, they are making mistakes. And Martin Luther King was very regretful in the end. He said, I made mistakes. Let's go get that bag, like you said. They're using us. So, okay, I'm done.
Okay.
So I'm agreeing with you.
Okay. Listen, you had a better chance with the Hebrew doctrine. I'm very good with this population stuff.
You've been kidding. You want to talk about getting killed? You've been getting killed.
No.
I'm just trying to be nice. You didn't bring out anything to.
You might have got me with the Hebrew stuff.
Out of her own mouth, I quoted that she's racist.
Out of context. Now, I'm going to start right now.
That wasn't out of context. How was it out of context?
My time started. Okay.
Oh, come on with the time thing. Come on.
Then threw me another alley-oop.
What? So basically, you're getting help.
I got to reset my time.
You're getting help. But you're getting help. But just for the record, you're getting help.
No, chatting. I'm smart enough to look at the chat.
I'm not looking at the chat because sometimes people say things that get me like.
They help you out. Look, they helping me out. They're helping you out. All right. So look.
All right. Shout out to everybody.
I'm a cheater. I'll look for help. Look. I don't like losing. Okay, my time started.
You couldn't be on. You would be good on. What is it? The Millionaire Show? Like you need a lifeline and a video chat.
Oh yeah. Look. I'm gonna start my time.
What's that? Who wants to be a millionaire? Yeah, is that show still going?
I'm gonna start my time right now. You keep cutting me off because
oh my gosh. Okay.
Watch this. Tim, thank you. I forgot. At that time of abortions.
Wait, no, Tim, stop helping him. Stop helping him because he thinks he's doing something up here. We gotta tough love this brother, y'all. Come on.
Hey, Amber gave me some ammunition too. So look.
No, sis, don't.
Look, I'm gonna start the clock. So I'm going to take Tim's information and Amber's information together. So
you just keep going with this.
Tim's, thank you. I forgot. At 1910, 1912, it was a man's world. Women ain't had no real rights. So abortion was a man's decision. Thank you, my brother. Yeah, right. When a chick got pregnant, the man made the decision to have that abortion.
If you knew about it.
All right, because I cut me off.
Oh, do I need to mute out again? It's like we're doing that whole. Okay, well.
I got to reset again. Right. So thank you. The world's being ran by. Well, this country was being ran by the world too, but this country being ran by white men, and they didn't give their women any really respect as far as rights. Don't forget, women's rights was tagged in the civil rights movement in 1968. You dig? I know that. So they didn't have any real rights, like we didn't have any real rights. So abortion decision was mainly the man's decision. and you're gonna get this abortion, woman, one way or another. Whether it's sanitized or not, whether it's a good practice or malpractice, we get this abortion. Period. So thank you for that, Tim's. So Margaret Sanger was against that, and then Amber, thank you for this. White women. So this whole abortion thing, she puts the contraceptives. Black folks wasn't really in her mind first. She's white, so of course she's white first. We're black first. Puerto Rican first, right? So many white women was trying to take advantage of this abortion idea. But why are we talking about abortions? She was a proponent of contraceptives. They said abortions came later. She was a big proponent of contraceptives. So let's not make her the abortion queen. She was the contraceptive queen. All right? Abortions came later.
You all welcome to take her argument. All right? Okay? You're all welcome to take her side. I will send that link. You dig? It's a lot of talking. You can hop on this live and take her argument.
Because, as you can see, that came by way of the back alley abortion. You could say the wet market of abortion. She wanted to clean that thing up. That's a good woman. Period. And we take advantage today of abortions and contraceptives. Nobody puts those things on us. It's not a law to use contraceptives. It's not a law to have an abortion. You dig? So I'm done with that. Now, we can change the subject on you. We can keep going. How you want to do it?
Oh, do I get to say something?
If you want. Or you can change the subject. How you want to do it?
No, because I need to address what you said. About women's rights, that is not exactly true. Women's, I'm doing air quotes, rights didn't start in the 1960s. That was a second wave of feminism. That was a second wave of women's rights. Actually, women's rights began as and in conjunction with her movement. If you look at when she popped on the scene, Sanger, it was in the 1920s. Like I think it was exactly 1920, the suffragist movement, where women were trying to say, well, we want voting rights, and that was the first part of. It wasn't just about voting rights, but they needed a springboard. So they talked about we want voting rights. Now, if you see, I just want to say, because we can move away from this, but I'm just addressing a little bit of what you said. You can see the similarities. You can correlate the suffragist movement and the movement for slave rights. Okay, so the first wave of feminism was how do you say? It was coming forward in tandem with the movement for the rights of slaves, or you know what I'm saying, like for people, slaves of the free, with progeny, the progeny of slaves, the very close progeny. So you can correlate that going all the way to the 60s, and what do you know? You've got the second wave of feminism, white women again, and they came on the scene because we had the civil rights movement, Black people fighting for their right. So if you really stand back, you go, okay, this isn't a coincidence. This is a part of an agenda. Like you said, everyone has an agenda, so it's not conspiracy theory. So you see, why is it that when we see so-called Blacks, slaves, the children of slaves, why whenever we see them come out, or us when we come out, there's some feminist movement, you see what I'm saying, that jumps on and gets on the coattail. Now let's come all the way up to more recently. We had Black people, Black men being shot down I'm not leaving the sisters out, Sandra Bland, and I forgot the other sister. That kind of seemed staged, but maybe it wasn't. The one who had the standoff with the cops with her son in the house. What was her name? You know what I'm talking about? The light-skinned sister, beautiful.
Wait, say it again.
The sister, the Black sister who was in her house, and she's like, F the police, pow, pow, pow. And she's like, go to the table, baby. Her son, her little 5-year-old was there, supposedly. And What was her name?
Is it, you talking about Tupac mom?
No, not Asada, not her, not Shakur. The young sister. It seemed like it was staged though, but that's my jumping out the window conspiracy thing. Huh?
I told you.
No, but it was real. It was really in the news. People know who I'm talking about, but I digress. So some of these women sisters were dying and getting killed too. So here comes another Black movement, Black Lives Matter. Listen carefully, you guys. Listen, family. Okay, so we have the Black Lives Matter, Black people this. We're moving another movement for Blacks, right? What do we see coming behind that? Me too. And so here's is it a coincidence? Here's a third wave of feminism that's on the tail of a civil rights movement, or a movement with Black people saying, we want our rights, we want justice. So, I mean, what I'm trying to say, I suppose, is women have always, these women that you hear like Sanger and these white women, Steinem, Gloria Steinem, and Betty Friedan, and now they've gotten smart. They're like, oh, they know we're using white women to do this. Put the black face on the Black Lives Matter movement. What's the sister's name? It escapes me. But there's always a face being used to make us think, oh, she's doing something good for women. No, she's not. She's being used, and she has her own self in mind, because at the end of the day, all these movements, if you really look closely, they're damaging. They're damaging to us as Black people and as all people. You look at it and go, well, look what happened now. Look, again, I'm going to go back to 300,000 Black babies aborted in 2017. I haven't checked the statistics, so I don't want to misquote, but it stays like that. So that's my point. This women's right thing, no, we cannot call this whole Planned Parenthood women's rights. We can't. I would want to, ideally, but I know better. And I went over 2 minutes, right?
You was like 35 minutes, all right?
You're just mad. Okay, can we get off this though? Because yeah, this is the population control we're talking about.
Right. Okay. So let's move on to what else. What else were you doing? What else?
Mm-hmm. You were like, pray, Miss the Saint Margaret Sanger. We could talk about. Do you want to canonized?
Yeah, I mean, because don't forget, we can always do a part 2, because I want to move on, but I want to come back to my favorite subject, which is not your favorite subject.
Okay, so that was it on that. Hey, Asiatic was in there talking, right? So so Asiatic gave a crack at this as well with Jeremiah Judah on the same live. So I'm going to play the same subject, population control, Margaret Sanger, Asiatic Black man, and Jeremiah Judah versus Unbiased Sports. That's the next live, Asiatic. Let's see how well you done. Now, that was my first time reading about Margaret Sanger. Like, I knew it was a lot. Like, the conscious community, whatever they say is usually the opposite. So when she was banging on Margaret Sanger, I said, you know what, I bet you she's wrong. So as you can see, if you watch the video from the beginning, I Wikipedia on the spot, and I was reading along. And I was just trying to process as much as possible. But I had read up on it since that time. So Asiatic Black man Jeremiah Judah didn't last as long. So that's the next live, you dig? Wait. I got something for you.
Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here.
Live in 2 seconds, you dig? Weezy out of here.